ABC News headquarters in New York. This is World News Tonight.
Good evening, I'm David Muir. Tonight, 5 more Americans face charges in the rape and murder of an Iraqi teenager. That's our top story. First, some of the day's other news. Discovery gets a clean bill of health and a green light to come home, despite problems with the shuttle's heat shield. Spouses and spending. Husbands and wives on secret shopping sprees. What you need to know about financial infidelity. And trading up, way up. The man who started with a paperclip now has his house. But we begin with that major development in a crime that is fueling anger and outrage in Iraq and raising troubling questions about the conduct of American troops. The Army today announced charges against 5 more soldiers in the alleged rape and murder of a teenage girl and the killing of her family. ABC's Terry McCarthy is in the Iraqi capital tonight.
David, 4 of the 5 men were charged with involvement in the rape and the murders. The 5th man was cited for dereliction of duty for not reporting the incident. Tonight, all 5 are being held in Iraq.
It happened in this house outside the town of Mahmoudiya. The alleged shooter, Stephen Green, then a private in the 101st Airborne Division, was charged last week with raping the teenage girl and shooting her and 3 relatives with an AK-47. According to Green's affidavit, the men had planned the attack ahead of time. They'd been drinking and some had changed out of uniform to hide their identities and afterwards tried to burn the bodies to hide the evidence.
It is extremely damaging to the standing of the United States, and this hurts not only the United States, but hurts the fight against terrorism that we are both engaged on.
The U.S. military is talking to the victim's family about exhuming her body, but disturbing graves is a very sensitive issue in Muslim culture. There are at least 5 investigations into alleged murders committed by U.S. troops against Iraqi civilians. The most deadly of these took place last November in Haditha, where 4 servicemen are being investigated for the shooting of 24 civilians. A report due to be released this week is expected to be very critical of the chain of command for failing to investigate sooner.
If these events have occurred, then we can do better. And I think this will truly reinvigorate the chain of command to make sure that they're going after this as much as they possibly can.
In April, Lieutenant General Corelli, the number 2 U.S. military commander in Iraq, for the first time issued orders specifically requiring his officers to pursue any accusation against U.S. troops. Some say this is the reason so many new cases are being made public.
Iraqi Prime Minister Maliki has said his government will conduct its own investigation into this case. Currently, U.S. troops are not subject to local authorities. But in the wake of these cases, Iraqi officials are increasingly questioning the entire principle of U.S. immunity from Iraqi justice. David?
Terry McCarthy in Baghdad. These new charges come on a day of escalating violence and revenge. At least 41 people were killed when a masked gunman went on a rampage in a Sunni section of Baghdad, setting up roadblocks, dragging people from their cars, checking IDs, and shooting people with Sunni names. Hours later, 2 car bombs exploded near a Shiite mosque, killing 17 people and wounding 38 more. And there's no end in sight to the violence in Gaza tonight. An Israeli airstrike hit a car carrying Hamas militants there today, wounding 5 people, including an 8-year-old girl. The car was packed with explosives, setting off a series of powerful blasts. Earlier, Israel's prime minister said the offensive in Gaza would not stop until Hamas releases a captured Israeli soldier. Back here at home tonight, encouraging news from NASA. After a 7-hour spacewalk and an inch-by-inch inspection, they say the Space Shuttle Discovery is safe to come home next week. ABC's John Berman has the details now from the Johnson Space Center in Texas.
Okay, copy that.
There was something routine today about Discovery's Day, and that's just how NASA wants it. Astronauts shifted cargo from the shuttle to the International Space Station as NASA engineers decided that fabric or gap filler hanging from the shuttle's heat tiles posed no threat to landing.
We deemed the TPS as 100% cleared for entry.
Well, Blue, that is great news. That's fantastic.
For the first time since the Columbia disaster more than 3 years ago, the space program can get back to business as usual, thanks to more than $1 billion in redesigns and new cameras that give them unprecedented views of the shuttle. These are pictures just released today from cameras on the solid rocket boosters as they fell to Earth after liftoff. Earlier today, the shuttle commander told me a clean bill of health for this shuttle would be more than just a relief.
Everything we're hearing is that the orbiter looks very, very clean. If and when you are given the all-clear, Commander, how gratifying will it be for you, and what does it mean for the space program?
My hats are off to all of the engineers and all of the folks in the shuttle program that have worked so hard on this for so long. To get a clean vehicle or a win, I think, is really exciting, and I'm really excited for them.
NASA is so confident the shuttle program is back on track that today they released a schedule for the next launch. Atlantis is due to go up on August 28th, just after 4 p.m. David.
All right, ABC's John Berman in Houston tonight. John, thank you. There was an airline disaster in Siberia today. A passenger jet exploded into flames after skidding off a wet runway and then plowing through a wall in several buildings. Some 200 people were on board. At least 122 were killed and 58 more injured. 14 of the passengers were children on vacation. It's the second major plane crash in Russia in 2 months. Investigators reportedly are now focusing on the brakes. Now to the man leading the efforts to cool off the crisis with North Korea. Assistant Secretary of State Chris Hill rushed to the region after North Korea started launching missiles on the 4th of July. ABC's Dan Harris is in Seoul, South Korea, and tonight he brings us an exclusive interview with the Bush administration's point man on this nuclear standoff.
Dealing with the regime of the world's last Stalinist dictator, Kim Jong-il. That's part of the job of Assistant Secretary of State Christopher Hill.
Millions of his people have died of starvation under his rule. He, meanwhile, lives in a palace where he spends hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, reportedly on cognac. Is this the type of person that we really can deal with?
It's very tough to deal with this kind of regime. But, you know, you don't just negotiate with your friends. You negotiate with people that you often have profound disagreements with.
Hill is engaged in a difficult diplomatic drive, traveling through the region trying to get Kim Jong-il's neighbors to take a tough, unified stance on North Korea. His biggest obstacles are the Chinese and the South Koreans, who fear isolating the regime could lead to collapse, creating masses of refugees and military and economic chaos.
What do you say to the Chinese to get them to go along, or at least consider going along, with the harder line that the White House is pushing? Is one angle you can take that, look, you are, to the North Koreans, the closest thing they have to an ally, and they're completely ignoring your warnings. So you're running the risk of diminishing your standing in the region if you let them get away with this?
That argument has certainly occurred to me, yes. I mean, that is part of the message, because the North Koreans defied them. The Chinese said very clearly, don't do this. Everyone said clearly, don't do this, and the North Koreans have gone ahead and done it.
What are the consequences for regional and global stability, the safety of the United States of America, if there is no unified voice on how to deal with North Korea?
We have a situation where this country has really disturbed the peace in this region. So how will the other countries react to this? Could missile programs in North Korea cause an arms race among some other countries? That's a real concern.
If diplomacy fails, Hill does not take the military card off the table.
Of course, there's a point at which we need to take actions to defend ourselves, and we are well aware of that.
Hill's job is to make sure it doesn't come to that. Dan Harris, ABC News, Seoul, South Korea.
And still ahead here on World News Tonight this Sunday, how financial cheating pushed this woman into a divorce. Millions of marriages with money secrets. But are they all bad? They can trace their bloodline back to Genghis Khan. Now, after 800 years, these proud nomads are being driven out of existence. And he calls himself the red paperclip guy. At the end of the broadcast tonight, how he traded one paperclip for this house.
This is World News Tonight, brought to you by Centrum.
There's a ton of multivitamins out there. Which one do you choose? Centrum rises to the top. Centrum balances combinations of nutrients to help them work to their full potential. Like C recharges E to optimize antioxidant power and help maintain immunity. With 8 interactive combinations that help your body get more out of Centrum. There's a lot to choose from. And then there's Centrum. Centrum is balanced and the most complete from A to Zinc.
We all deserve to breathe fresh, clean air, especially in our homes. With the Sharper Image Clean Air Now campaign, America's most trusted brand of air purifier is offering an additional Ionic Breeze Quadra for free. The Ionic Breeze cleans and circulates air with no fans, no filters, silently. The Ionic Breeze has even earned the seal of the prestigious British Allergy Foundation because it's been proven to reduce airborne allergens. Order today and we'll give you a free $69 bathroom Ionic Breeze. We'll even pay your shipping so you can use the Ionic Breeze risk-free for 2 months. If you decide to send it back for any reason, we'll pay that shipping too and keep the bathroom Ionic Breeze as our gift. But that's not all. For the first time ever, call right now to find out how you can get an additional Ionic Breeze Quadra for free. That's right, it is amazing. A free Ionic Breeze Quadra.
Call 1-800-355-5600.
Hey, you feel like going out?
I'm bloated, irregular.
Probably stress from exams. Look how it makes us eat.
So how come you're okay?
I eat Activia every day.
Introducing smooth, delicious Dannon Activia. With the natural culture Bifidus regularis, it's clinically proven to help naturally regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks.
It's good. I feel great.
Help naturally regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks.
Now let's get out of here. Can't believe it.
Would you like to win $1 million from Publishers Clearinghouse this summer?
Oh, yeah!
Go to PCH.com at once. Or enter by mail, and this summer you could be a millionaire.
When Walter got hurt on the job, he was out of work for almost a year.
We would have lost this house if it hadn't been for the disability insurance.
It's insurance that he didn't think that we needed.
Mutual of Omaha.
She always brings that up.
Begin today.
Do you shop, spend, and still shop more, even when you owe and know you can't afford it? Why can't we Americans save? Monday, a special World News Tonight series unlocks the secrets to getting you out of the money trap.
In our Money Watch tonight, financial infidelity. Millions of husbands and wives are keeping spending secrets from each other, often threatening their finances and their relationships. In fact, in a recent poll, more than 70% of people admitted keeping money secrets from their partner. The deception can destroy couples, but it doesn't have to. ABC's Gigi Stone joins us now with the warning signs tonight. Gigi?
Well, David, couples have always kept secrets from each other, especially when it comes to money. But divorce attorneys say there's a disturbing trend toward hiding serious purchases, even entire bank accounts. This is causing problems for a growing number of married couples who could find themselves facing bankruptcy or even divorce. For as long as women have been wearing white bridal gowns, couples have been telling little white lies about money. Do you ever go shopping and don't tell your husband what you bought?
Yes.
Did you know about this?
I was unaware of this until this very moment.
Whether it's overpriced shoes or a flat screen TV, when it comes to expensive purchases, couples often keep quiet. Why don't you tell him about it? It's not his business. In fact, nearly 1/4 of adults say cash is the #1 item they're most likely to hide from their spouse. Usually it's harmless, but it can lead to serious consequences. Cindy Silva claims her husband racked up $60,000 in credit card debt, forcing her to refinance her home and get a divorce.
It made me feel stupid that I didn't know it was going on. It made me feel afraid because I felt now attached to that debt, and I don't live my life like that.
If you are married and you have joint accounts with your spouse and your spouse racks up a whole lot of debt and doesn't pay it back, you are absolutely on the hook as well.
And as more people get married later in life, they often come into relationships with more debt. But financial advisors say there are things couples can do. Share credit reports before getting married. Have money dates and go through everything you've spent. Get a referral from a professional organization which specializes in helping couples with money issues. That said, author Heidi Evans says it's not necessarily a bad thing for women to hide money from their husbands.
We live longer than men. Our retirement money is less. Women leave the workforce to raise children or to take care of elderly parents, and so their pensions are not the same as men.
It's important to protect yourself, but couples need to know their spouse's bad financial choices can have long-term implications. If your credit score goes down, it raises all of your other interest rates and costs you more money. David?
I love what the experts say. Hold a money date. I look forward to one of those.
Sounds great.
Who actually holds more financial secrets, men or women, or does the research not say?
Surveys show that women hold slightly more financial secrets, but as Heidi Evans, the author in the piece, says, sometimes that's necessary for women.
All right, ABC's Gigi Stone tonight. Gigi, many thanks. We have one weather note to pass along this evening. It's been a weekend of severe thunderstorms and flash floods across parts of the Southwest. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, a teenage boy is recovering after falling into a flooded channel where the racing water carried him almost 5 miles. Rescue crews tried 3 times to reach the teen before finally pulling him to safety. Incredible pictures there. Some events to keep an eye on in the coming week now. Tomorrow at the White House, President Bush and the First Lady will host an 85th birthday dinner for Eunice Kennedy Shriver, founder of the Special Olympics. On Tuesday, Major League Baseball will play its All-Star game in Pittsburgh, and then on Wednesday in Houston, a public memorial service will be held for Ken Lay, the former Enron CEO who died of a heart attack last week. Coming up next on the broadcast, the descendants of Genghis Khan now scrounging in dumps and struggling to survive.
Try something new when you create your own summer seafood feast at Red Lobster. Combine new creamy garlic jumbo shrimp or new pan-seared sea scallops with favorites like decadent scampi or hand-breaded shrimp. And soon, only at Red Lobster.
All of us have internal plumbing. But for some of us with frequent bladder urges, doing errands also means knowing where all the bathrooms are along the way. The worry your pipes might leak means you don't always detour from your route. But you can take another direction. Talk to your doctor about how to take care with Vesicare. Vesicare, once a day, can reduce urges and may help effectively manage bladder leakage, day and night. If you have certain types of stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems, do not take Vesicare. While taking Vesicare, if you experience a serious allergic reaction, severe abdominal pain, or become constipated for 3 or more days, tell your doctor right away. Common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, blurred vision, and indigestion. A chance to follow a whim, not always your urges. It's not just a pipe dream. Ask your doctor today if Vesicare is right for you.
Terracotta.
Stone.
Bermuda. York's new Affinity Series air conditioning systems are sleek, quiet, and efficient.
Jet black.
And they come in a choice of colors that are as distinctive as you are.
Champagne.
Because people like color. The new beautiful Affinity Series from York.
My attitude is I am a 61-year young woman with diabetes. I found a better attitude when it comes to eating.
New One Touch Ultra 2 with before and after meal averages can help you see how food affects your blood sugar.
I can enjoy food again. Under control.
One touch changes everything, yeah.
Good thing there's the speed of Maalox in a chewable, because nothing's faster. Maalox, kick acid.
It's one thing all working moms can agree on. You just need more time with the kids. So how can you get it? Monday, it's GMA's Flexible Work Hour Survival Guide. Who has them? How can you get them? Mothers make it work. Only on Good Morning America, Monday.
In the spotlight tonight, the vanishing nomads. They have survived and even conquered for centuries, but they're now being pushed to the brink. They are proud descendants of Genghis Khan. Mongolia this week is celebrating the 800th anniversary of the fearsome warlord's rise to power. But ABC's Mark Lipke reports that across the wide open land, the nomads who carried Khan's bloodline are now fighting for their own survival.
His name is Sharku, and like most Mongolian nomads, he could ride almost as soon as he could walk. His home is where he sets up his tent and tends to his livestock. He'll move to a new location 3 or 4 times a year. But for Sharku and thousands of other nomads in this vast country, the future looks very bleak. Several years of severe winters have decimated their herds and destroyed countless acres of grazing land, leaving many here with only one choice: head to the cities in search of jobs. In the capital, Ulaanbaatar, nomadic families are now half the population, clustered in tent communities wherever they can find space, doing whatever work they can find. 65% live in extreme poverty. At the city's main garbage dump, many once proud families now survive by scrounging for something to sell.
Here, they lose everything that defines nomadic life, don't they?
In a lot of ways, they do.
Zanjan Fromer is an American who runs a community-based program here that helps struggling nomads with job training, education, health care. For a people who were so self-reliant, he says, it's now crippling to need so much help in the cities.
It is a problem.
Nomad families now face an epidemic of crime, mental health problems, and alcoholism, not unlike the experiences of Native Americans forced onto reservations.
It's really sad.
Zanjan gets quite emotional about that comparison. He is a Native American.
It's very personal to me because I come from an Alaskan tribe that's dying right now. And it wasn't until too late that the government stepped in to bring about opportunities.
One opportunity providing some hope right now is the global tourism boom. The nomads' ancient culture and unique lifestyle has become one of Mongolia's biggest attractions, and some nomads are sharing in the profits. Some. But once forced into the cities, very few ever return to a real nomadic life.
It's nearly impossible to imagine a Mongolia without its nomads and its nomadic spirit. But there are those who fear this centuries-old way of life is in its dying days.
And that includes aging nomads like Sharku. He has only one son, he says, to carry on herding. If he goes to the city, it will be the end. The end of the only life his family has known as far back as Genghis Khan. Sharku hopes he's not around to see that day. Mark Litke, ABC News, Mongolia.
And we now turn to sports. The World Cup belongs to Italy this evening. The Italian team beat France in dramatic fashion, as you might have seen here on ABC, winning soccer glory with a 5-3 shootout after playing to a 1-1 draw. The captain of the French team was ejected late in the match after delivering a nasty headbutt to an opponent. As for Italy, the streets of Rome exploded in celebration when the play ended in Berlin. And in tennis, Roger Federer has won the 4th straight Wimbledon title, playing with power and finesse on the grass court where he often rules. Federer, the world's #1 player, beat his rival, second-ranked Rafael Nadal, in 4 sets. And when we return here tonight, how this man turned a paperclip into a house.
The latest look in fiber is showing up everywhere. All-natural Benefiber, the first fiber supplement that's tasteless and dissolves completely, so you can put it in whatever foods you fancy, even water. Benefiber, the latest look in fiber.
In the future, everyone will protect their eyes from sun damage like they protect their skin. Transitions lenses. They automatically adjust to changing light and block harmful UV rays and glare. So don't wait until tomorrow. The danger is here today, and so is the protection. Ask your eye care professional about Transitions. Visit Transitions.com to find an eye care professional and learn more.
If you've had a heart attack that reduced how well your heart pumps, hear this. Your heart medications may not be enough protection. Coreg is FDA approved to increase your chance of survival when taken over time. Adding Coreg to your current treatment can help prevent another heart attack. Coreg reduces your heart's workload to help it pump better. That should be music to your ears.
Coreg is not for everyone, including people prone to asthma, certain heart rhythm problems, slow heart rate, or liver problems. Once you start Coreg, you should continue as directed by your doctor. Patients who abruptly stop may experience chest pain or an increased risk of heart attack. In some cases, patients may experience dizziness or faintness when starting Coreg. You should avoid driving or hazardous tasks if this occurs.
Ask your doctor if Coreg is right for you. Adding Coreg adds cardio protection.
Oh, yeah!
This
this really true?
Would you like to be a Publishers Clearinghouse winner tomorrow?
Oh, wow.
Now you can, because there's a new winner every day.
This is real.
You could even win $1 million before the summer's over. Go to PCH.com, enter today, win tomorrow.
Will the bank cash a check this big?
Or watch your mail and enter at once.
I'm not going to be throwing those envelopes away anymore.
This is the summer for you to win.
When Walter got hurt on the job, he was out of work for almost a year.
We would have lost this house if it hadn't been for the disability insurance.
It's insurance that he didn't think that we needed.
Mutual of Omaha.
She always brings that up.
Begin today.
Tuesday, an American man dreams up a new life for himself, duping his wife and children into believing he's a British lord. But how long will his double life stay secret? Tuesday, Tracking the American Imposter, a 2-hour primetime special at 9, 8 Central.
Do you shop, spend, and still shop more, even when you owe and know you can't afford it? Why can't we Americans save? Monday, a special World News Tonight series unlocks the secrets to getting you out of the money trap.
And finally tonight here, a paperclip and a dream. This might sound far-fetched, but a young Canadian man was convinced that he could get a house starting with a small paperclip. It all began with a simple trade, and the ending? Well, it's simply unbelievable. The 26-year-old Canadian began his quest almost a year ago. Kyle McDonald's goal was simple, to trade one small red paperclip all the way up to a house. He had no job, but he had the paperclip and a website.
It went from a hobby where I played it on a whim to the point where thousands of people were showing up at the website.
They were showing up, and almost immediately, Kyle was trading up, beginning with 2 women offering this fish pen from Vancouver. May sound fishy, but it's not.
I traded 1 red paperclip for 1 fish pen, for 1 doorknob, for 1 camping stove, for 1 red generator, for 1 instant party.
That instant party, gone in an instant.
For 1 snowmobile, for 1 trip to Yak, for 1 cube van, for 1 recording contract.
Aspiring musician Jody Gannant, she wanted that.
The boys at the door got control of the floor.
For 1 year of rent in Phoenix for an afternoon with Alice Cooper.
Rocker Alice Cooper?
All your desires.
That was the most bizarre moment of this entire project, was standing on stage with Alice Cooper in Fargo, North Dakota with a giant red paperclip.
He traded the rest of his time with Cooper for a snow globe. That's right, his followers thought that would be it. But no, enter actor Corbin Burnson, an avid snow globe collector. He wanted it and offered a paid role in his new movie for it. Who wanted the role? The people of Kipling, Saskatchewan, Canada. Their offer? Finally, the house.
When I got this offer, it was mind-blowing. I've never lived in Saskatchewan, and I've never been to Kipling.
But he'll be there later this week. The mayor's office tells us it's for real. They're going to hold auditions for that movie role. But the true star? Well, he's just relieved it's almost over.
I was just, and in a lot of ways, relieved, because I've been frantically worried that I won't pull this off. And I'd be a bit of a schmuck if I didn't trade a red paperclip to a house.
No schmuck. He's got his house tonight. And this afternoon, Kyle McDonald told us that that house might just be the beginning. Somehow we weren't surprised about that. There's much more about Kyle's adventures on our website, abcnews.com, and much more on tomorrow's Good Morning America. I'm David Muir. From all of us here at ABC News, have a good evening and good night.
World News Tonight is always on, even when your television isn't. Just go to abcnews.com to get the unmatched reporting, investigations, breakthrough medical and consumer reports. Get it all. ABC News is always on for you at abcnews.com.
How do you explain the unexplainable? Wednesdays this summer, primetime, Will. Now, go inside Medical Mysteries. Real cases that leave even doctors scratching their heads. Medical Mysteries, coming Wednesdays at 10 this summer.
Up next on Eyewitness News, a local man makes a terrifying discovery. His own teenage son shot to death. We're live with the homicide investigation now underway.
Plus, a big crash and an officer injured, all because of a wild pursuit throughout Southland streets.
Those stories and the rescue of a dozen people stranded on this capsized boat. Next on Eyewitness News.
I get what I want, I go where I please.
Time is running out on the Ford Model Year clearance.
And that was for me. Possibility.
The Fusion, 500, Focus, and Mustang. Now, drive on us with 0% financing. Plus, we'll pay for your gas until 2007. That's right, 0 interest, 0 for gas on Fusion, Focus, and Mustang during the Ford Model Year clearance.
This is it, Lynn. It's perfect.
Not quite. You can find the same